Hey, this is going to be another supply chain video, this time about the COVID-19 vaccine. You might expect that there are going to be some problems in distributing the vaccine due to things like having short availability of transportation resources due to lockdowns, due to not having enough refrigerated trucks, and due to general shortages of all of the materials and liquids needed to make the vaccine in the first place. Well, the problem actually goes a lot deeper according to this article from Supply Chain Dive. The gist of this article is that when you have something that's controlled and in high demand like a COVID-19 vaccine, you're going to have some unscrupulous people involved at many steps in your supply chain, and that's going to open up the door to theft, gray markets, counterfeits, and a bunch of other problems. The inability to effectively transport the COVID-19 vaccine without losing some product is going to be difficult because the companies that are trying to distribute them don't really have enough time to vet all of their suppliers. And when they can't vet all their suppliers, they don't know that their suppliers are following all the best security practices. I had no idea that the market for controlled substances goes far beyond illegal drugs. Things like cancer and arthritis drugs are also prone to theft and do get stolen frequently. And it's not just the places that you might expect, such as in Central and South America, that are involved in this drug trafficking. You also have places like India and Russia, and even the United States. And the thing is that in a lot of these places, the criminal networks actually have quite sophisticated supply chains because they have to go around the legitimate supply chains. So they're using a lot of advanced technologies that the regular supply chains might not be using. And it's not just theft either. You also have issues with counterfeiting, contamination or quality issues, and price gouging, in addition to the black markets and the thieves. Now, to avoid these issues, the trucking companies are going to have to use several methods, some that are quite sophisticated and some that are quite simple but not necessarily ineffective. So they have to be doing everything from keeping eyes on their inventory, watching patterns or using pattern matching software to look at anything that might be suspicious, to having internal audit protocols that are required when you're transporting controlled substances in the US. There's this quite basic but apparently effective protocol when you move around controlled substances in the US that you always have to have two eyes on the product. So when you're signing off on anything, you've got to have two people doing it. You've got to have two people when you're moving stuff around. And when you're receiving product, you also have to have at least two people with eyes on the product. Where this is going to happen the most is in the last mile. So for example, from the airport to the final means of distribution, where you have trucking companies or couriers who may not have these protocols in place. So not only in those places do you have to have two sets of eyes on things, but you might also employ technologies like GPS trackers. From the start, I had a strong feeling that there were going to be issues with the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine, especially related to the lack of refrigerated trucking capability and due to the lack of material resources and ease of transportation during this time. But I had no idea that it went this deep. But this article does make total sense in hindsight. So it's really great that now I know about all of the problems that are going to happen with this. Hopefully it will be confined to just a few instances and the supply chain providers will do a good job of controlling their supply chain and keeping two sets of eyes on everything. But as with everything, we will see. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.